You guys, what's going on? The Twitter men are obsessed with me and they won't leave me alone. It's kind of hilarious. I don't know why. I've been on Twitter for like 2 actual weeks of using it, like in a serious way. They're obsessed. And I mean, who wouldn't be, really? Okay. Ooh, what I really need to do is get that background fixed. Look at like the picture is still, I don't know where to hang the picture. It doesn't matter. You're not going to see it anyways if I hang it. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
What are we doing? What's going
on? But welcome. I am overheating. I'm overheating a little. It's warm in here. It was very hot outside today. It's warm in here. Kind of want to take my shirt off. I might. That's why we wear sports bras, so that at any point we too can just pull a douchey man move and take our shirts off. Oh Lord. What a day, what a time to be alive, as I always say. Welcome in. Hello, lovelies. How are we doing? We're gossiping today. We're talking about the Twitter incels who are obsessed with me. I don't even have that many Twitter followers, but they keep really blasting everything I do. It's insane. And I will say, R.I.P. Kanye, R.I.P. Fuck Kanye West. However, when he said, how are you going to be cyberbullied? Just turn your phone off. That's how I've been using Twitter. Like, I don't see what's going on Twitter, but every time I open it, notifications, incels retweeting, incels quote tweeting, incels sending people after you. How are you sending people after me when I'm not reading anything on there? You have no idea I have no idea what's going on. They hate me. They hate me on there. And it's hilarious because I'm not reading anything that they're doing. But they really think that they're killing it over there. It's been an interesting time. That's my big life update. Going to Washington, D.C. very soon. Oh, and hold on before we get into the updates. I am a little dehydrated. Thank you for asking. Oh my God. I can't keep... I love these fancy glasses, but then I keep like almost tipping them over because of the way that I am fundamentally as a person. What's my Twitter? It's just my first and last name. I know it's not written on the bottom there, but I changed it. I think it's my first and last name now. Used to be my Twitch handle, but changed it. It's not linked. Oh yeah, it's not linked. The one that's on Twitch, I don't think is the right one because I haven't updated it. That's my old one. I have an old one and a new one. It's not linked. Let me see. Oh, it is. It is properly linked. Cool. There is a button if you're on Twitch. If you're on YouTube, it's in the link thing somewhere. Hopefully that's accurate. It's just my first and last name. Which is what I should make my Twitch at this point, but I like my username. And I don't know. Like we're not that close yet, you know? Like we're not all that chill yet. We're getting there. Okay. Let's open up. Today we're drinking one of my personal favorites. I think this is like my favorite drink so far that we've had. I continue to buy them. I'm obsessed. This makes sense to me because I love apple juice and I drink a lot of Mott's for Tots because I love watered down apple juice. And this is just a sparkling watered down apple juice. I've been begging Olipop to sponsor me for so long. They refuse. It's fine, but it's still the best one. I was on the fence for a long time about Olipop. I didn't like them back in the day, but I'm changed. I've changed. I've grown. And that's the beauty of time, is that you evolve and you're not the same person you once were. Cracked it. Ooh, cracked on stream. Crazy. Filling up my little cup. Should have a cup cam down here. Just for those filling up the cup shots, you know, that's the money shot right there, as I always say. Oh, it's good every time. Oh, I love it. I love it. Anyways.
We're gonna fuck.
Woo, 7 minutes in. You guys, what are we starting with today? What are we starting with today? Tis the question, tis the question. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. What are we starting with? Howdy, howdy. I wonder, okay, how's our live running? Make sure you hit the like, drop some comments. I don't know why it's saying there's almost no viewers on my end, but I see some chat. Drop a bunch of chat, really spam in there. Keep liking the stream as the day goes, as we go on. Trying to push it out. I don't know how to get new viewers into stream either. I'm really bad at that. Liking the stream. I know that I have to continually market myself, but I'm so bad at that. I'm not marketable is the real problem. I'm so tired. So tired. Raven, I thought about you today when I was at the mall. I keep forgetting to text you back. Sorry, I crashed out a little bit and then have been doing a lot of shit. And then I think I also am just, there's a bunch of political stuff happening this weekend in Minnesota and I bailed. I pulled out. I said I'm overwhelmed. Because I also have to be in Washington, D.C. at overlapping that. So it's been a lot. Personal news. There you go. There's your personal news update. I've been doing a million things all at once. And I've been tired. But good Lord, I want to see you before I leave, but I don't think I'll have the energy. If I'm being realistic with where I'm at. I'm trying to get through DC before crashing out. I just have to make it through the DC trip. And then I'm allowed to crash out and recharge. Because then I also have stuff at the end of June travels. But that will leave me like 2 to 3 solid weeks to recharge and crash out after, once we pull through. Oh, R.I.P. Moira Rose. We miss her dearly. Do I have any good stories? Recently? Not particularly. I mean, I did film a video. I guess we could talk about it. We went out for Memorial Day because I didn't know it was Memorial Day. And my friend was like, do you want to go out tonight? And I wasn't going to because I was tired. But then at 8:30, I guess I was convinced to leave the house and we went out for Memorial Day. And honestly, you know what? Where was everyone? It was like no one was out there celebrating the troops except for us. We can't carry the flames ourselves. What the hell is going on? Everyone's always saying America first, America first, America first. No one was out partying, celebrating, throwing it back on the dance floor. No one was carrying the flame and remembering Charlie, who lost his life so that we could throw ass. Because when he was here, it was a lot harder because you'd think of him sometimes and get the ick. But now that he's dead, we're safe. We're safe. We can safely throw ass back on the dance floor. Matter on the dance floor. If we are Charlie. Anyways. Rest in piss, Charlie. But yes, we went out for Memorial Day to the bar scene. We went to different bars than we usually do because we decided to go to bars where you like sit down and it's more adult. We were a bit over going to the clubs. We decided to have a chill Memorial Day. And no one was really out. And for all the incels in which are making me trend on Twitter, being like, you went out and you were mad that you got approached by men. When I say it was annoying that no one was out, you morons, it's because we like to go out and people watch. We don't like to go out and be harassed, you dumb losers. We go out so that we can sit in a corner and watch the shit show ensue. not so that Republicans can try and hit on us and prove that they are in fact the dumbest people we've ever met in our lives. Charlie was the real throat goat, and we honor his memory. I said what I said, but it was an interesting time. We went to a different bar. It was a sit-down bar. There was a very large group of men who didn't say they were Republican, but like, you know, they didn't have to. We figured it out pretty quickly because they came up to us and immediately out of the gate, they were speaking down to us like we were children, condescending as hell. Really the dumbest people you'd ever met also, because one of them had like lost his wallet, and he came up and their opener was like, have you seen my wallet anywhere? And then he started talking to us, and at some point we convinced him, this is how you know they were both drunk and stupid. At some point we convinced him that if you actually just called your wallet, you could find it. And so we saw him like on his phone going through Find My Friends looking for his wallet and trying to call random numbers. Do we know who he was calling? No, we do not, but it was hilarious to watch him try and call his wallet. It's not a real thing. You can't call a wallet. That was entertaining. Also, at some point, they wouldn't go away. One of the guys at one point, like, came up to our table and, like, sat down at it. Like, he just sat down at the chair and he pulled himself in. Like, he got comfortable, and we were like, oh, okay. You're just sitting at our table now. Cool. And that, I don't know where my confusion. Okay. That was interesting. And they wouldn't leave. And also at a certain point we were like, his wallet. Yeah. He was calling. So the one guy left because he was on the phone with his wallet. And like, there was a bunch of them in that friend group that kept like coming up and trying to talk to us and failing and reporting back and sending in a new guy. It was like a rotation was happening. So we just started lying at a certain point. We were like, okay, this is a bit we're going to have to commit to at this point, because these guys don't know social cues and won't leave us alone. And it's fine. We're not like the waitress did, in fairness, walk up and was like, hey, are you guys okay? And I was like, we got this one. Sarah, love you. We got this one. Don't worry. We got this one handled. So we just started lying. And then at a certain point, they were believing all the lies. So we were like, well, we have to just keep going bigger. We have to just keep going bigger until these men figure out that we're lying to them. But at no point did they ever figure out we were lying to them. It was insane. Like the things, and you can't tell, like at a certain point, it's like, are you this stupid, or are you not actually listening to a word coming out of our mouths? It could be either. It's really hard to tell. You never know with these things. However, at one point, someone mentioned like guns or brought up some joke or point or something. And Kayla jumps in and she goes, well, I'm a gun owner. Just starts point blank lying. She's like, oh yeah, I own firearms, which piqued their interest immensely. Like they were so excited by this thought, which is immediately hilarious. Because every Republican man is like a cosplaying gun enthusiast, but like most of the time they know nothing about guns. They just think it's like really hot that a girl owns a gun. So they started asking her all these questions about it and pretending to be really interested. Obviously, her and I, we know nothing about guns really, besides, you know, the obvious things. But it turns out we knew more about guns than them. Because I was like, I just started, because they asked us, they were like, well, what kind do you own, et cetera, like, you know, and I just started listing all the guns that are like blatantly illegal to own or like really hard to have. Like, and they were like, they believed that we had all these guns at the house, like in an apartment somewhere. We just have like a wall of all these super illegal firearms, obviously. And they were fascinated by this because everyone knows that your dream girl can hold an AK-47 and an AR-15 in the other hand all at once. And so then at a certain point, I realized I think there's actually nothing we could say that would trigger any sort of this might not be true to these men. Also, I'm pretty sure we changed our names 2 or 3 times within the conversation and they never picked up on it. And so because they weren't paying a ton of attention to us all together, really, started just scrolling. Like, I just started Googling things, and because they were coming in and out on rotation, So Kayla's entertaining this one guy who's really locked in on her. And I start Googling like news articles and things and just like holding it up like as if I was like signaling something to the DJ. I'm just like holding it up because I'm just feeding her lies and information and things to throw into the conversation. Like we're just running the funniest bit of all time, which is like I'm like start talking about like, you know, like we're playing almost like heads up and this man's in the middle of the conversation. I start Googling just random things to start throwing in there. It was a really interesting time. It's very fascinating. Yeah, and they never even noticed, which is wild. I don't know if they were really fully paying attention to anything at all. Other than that guy who kept trying to call his wallet, which might have been the best bit of the night. But I think we should also all put that in our back pockets. Like next time you're in the middle of a situation or like a conversation that you don't want to be a part of with a stranger, just be like, I'm so sorry, I have to take this call. It's my wallet. And then like walk away. My wallet is calling me. I'm so sorry. Some misogynistic man out there no, wait. Yeah. Cool, dude. We're talking about men at a bar right now. This isn't even a conversation about politics, but you really did try to insert your little shitter mouth, didn't you? Good try, though. Cool. You know what else is really boring? Cars. I think performative car men, because I think there's actual car guys that are interesting, and then there's performative car guys where they just have like the Subaru that they've like zooted up and they think that's super cool, but it's like, yeah, I don't know. Help the wallet called back. The wallet called back and it says, we're empty. Nothing here. Just hit them with the bruh and then leave. I mean, in fairness, you could just walk away. You could just turn and walk away. At any point. I do just like, okay, but circling back, like performative car guys, you know, like the guys who are like Mustangs, and that on that one Subaru that they customize the fuck out of. And it's like, it's not really giving car guy. It's giving guy who wants to be car guy, but isn't. Money clip will have to be communicated. Yeah, you can't call a money clip, unfortunately. If you lose that one, it's gone forever. But the wallet you have a better chance at. And you can tell the wallet that I said that. You're not really into them? That's fair. I'm just like, you know what I mean? Like the guys who think they're super cool car guys, but they really just bought like a shitty Mustang. And it's the same model that like everyone has. They get a laptop installed and they think they're DraftKings. No, yeah. And it's like the guys who download that one like stock trading app that literally like everyone in the world can access, and it's like means nothing at all. And they think that they're like Jordan Belfort at that point. And it's like, I think that you're actually just throwing away money is what you're doing. You're not really an investor, sir. You're just kind of burning. Like you would have more fun if you went outside and set cash on fire at this point. That would go better for you. Then whatever this thing is that you're referring to as investing is happening. This isn't investing. If you're going to be car guy, don't go basic. That's what I'm saying. Do something interesting. Make it cool. What do you think about long form content? I have some longer form content, but yeah, I don't do like full half-hour TV episodes. For I am just one person and not a full team of shit. But yeah, I don't know. What do I think about them? I don't think I've ever really thought about them very much. I don't watch YouTube. If I'm watching something long form, I guess I'm watching like a documentary on Netflix, or I'm not a podcast person really. That's the funny thing. I'll make a podcast, but I'm not listening to podcasts much. I listen to Ride. I used to listen to that Stuff You Should Know every once in a while. I should circle back to that. But then I was like, I feel like we know all the stuff. There's no stuff we need to know. We know it all. Everything we should know is known. Just kidding. But yeah, I guess I don't contemplate long form content often because I don't really consume it other than Netflix and Hulu and all those things. A Hasanabi long form. Hasanabi is long form, dude. He streams for like 6-7 hours a day. That's about as long as you're getting. Crazy for that one. You demanding he go longer is wild. I'll take sentences you can't usually say about a man for 500. Every time. It's good every time. All right. Now that we've properly shit talked for 20 minutes, should we get into what's trending? Let's get into news things. How about? News things. That was the news things theme song. It was really bad. Doesn't look like much is showing up on my Twitter feed. I mean, other than literally just fucking Hassan 3 times. Which, like, oh my God, could he leave my fucking... Like I'm not even joking at this point when I say that every day I think about blocking Hassan Piker. If he blocked me, I wouldn't be able to continue on this planet anymore. But like, it's so, let me show you. I need you to see my homepage on Twitter because I can't get rid of it. I can't figure out how to escape him. I don't know. I will never be free. He will haunt me forever, this man. And it's against my will at this point because I'm not even searching this shit up. Like I'm becoming an op. Like I might switch sides just so that I can be with people who also hate him for different reasons at this point. Because leave me alone. Leave me alone. It's haunting me. This man. Okay, if only my window thing actually worked. I'd love it if my computer worked well. That'd be cool someday. Aha, I did it. Okay, I did the thing. The stream is real. No, I'm fake. Fake news. Never been real. Drooling over a man is insane work. Interesting sentence. Okay. I'm not sure how that's relevant at this moment, but go off. Look at this. We go on to the news to see what today's news is. It's just fucking Hassan Piker. Like, it's literally 3 times. 3 times. How is this man trending in other entertainment and news? Leave us alone. Can we have a day off from this man? Can we have a day off from this man? Can we please? What are your thoughts on Ashley Sinclair? I need you guys to actually, if you have questions, please just ask me questions. I don't know what that means. What are my thoughts on her? She's been on a lot of podcasts recently. I don't know what everyone, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to crash out at chat right now, but like, this is like the 3rd time today chat has asked me like, what are your thoughts on this? I feel like I'm a magic 8 ball here. What are you asking? I haven't thought about her at all today. This would be superimposed on everyone's face on TikTok. At this point, I think that the government is trying to tattoo Hassan Piker inside my eyelids. We've gone so far into like Taylor Swift level of exposure territory that we're all going to start becoming Hassan haters simply due to overexposure. You know what I'm talking about? Like that psychological phenomenon or effect where it's like, now we just like, it's too much and you start to hate whatever celebrity woman is getting pushed on you too hard. I think that we should, me just advocating to be an op now. I'm just tired. I'm so tired of being exposed to this man, knowing that he's running out there in the world somewhere. And we're not running with him. Literally, why is this trending though? Some Elon Musk unfollows this guy, Ian Miles Chong after jab. Like, what is this? How is that a news like, what does that even mean? Ask again later was what the Magic 8 Ball told me. Fair enough. Federal probe targets Hassan Piker and Medea Benjamin over Cuba trips. That's not news. Why is that 11 hours ago? It's been news is what I mean. Like, it's not okay. But he can be overwhelming. That's fair. It's meant like would you consider doing long form content? This is long form content that you're watching right now. So I do it. This is it. This will also be uploaded once I'm done. That is long form content. The hyperfixation on Hassan is a weird pivot for distraction from. It's like almost like a distraction, but it's not, because at the same time, it's just going to lead us back into these conversations because he's talking about him. You know, it's like a funny roundabout. Do you have any major thing that you're proud of that you did or that you regret that you did? Any major thing that you guys are asking me like super existential questions right now? Let me think. God, my brain isn't even functioning. Have I ever been proud at all at any point in my life? On Monday, I woke up hungover and I checked my story and I had posted another, what did I post? It was kind of funny. I like to get drunk and then post funny things on my story and then wake up the next day and laugh at them myself. I'm pretty proud of that cycle I've created. And people might think like, oh, she's peacocking, she's performing on her story for other people. I want you to know that when I go out and I get drunk and I brown out and I post something funny on my story, it's not for anyone else, but it's for me to wake up and read the next day and laugh at. Like me the next day reading that gift that I've left myself and going, that's actually hilarious. I'm pretty proud that that's my drunk story arc 9 out of 10 times. But yeah, people we are not in the 2010s. I'm lost, not gonna lie. Sometimes I truly to share the planet with some individuals. Indeed. Okay, the Cuba trip is 2 different news stories. I feel like we could consolidate. This is the thing. I haven't been hearing like any news at all recently because every news story is just fucking everyone mad at goddamn stupid sexy Hassan. I haven't been hearing any news. I'm sure news is happening that's not making it my way. Because my whole feed is filled up with fucking stupid, sexy Hassan. Everyone needs to chill out. So that we can get news again. Like, get me news. This isn't news. I've had enough. Is that, I didn't think it was possible, chat. Until this day, I didn't think it was physically possible for me to be yelling that I've had enough of this man. That was just a for me tab. Why is that what was for me? That's what was for me. Can I say do better? It's not letting me click on that. Melania. Oh, fuck. What did Melania do? Do we click on it? What's Melania up to? Crowd goes extremely mild for JD. So we got to watch. We do. We do have to watch this. Are they supposed to clap, though?
Good. Thank you all for being here. Please take a seat.
And they didn't really respond to him asking how they were doing. It's not the best look. The shoes are indeed squeaking on the floor. That's rough. That's rough. Super tough. Super tough. But why is Melania trending? That didn't answer the question. That has nothing to do with Melania. It's from May 25th. What? Why is... Okay, I don't know. We're not getting any answers, and the only answers we are getting is fucking stupid sexy Hassan. I don't know anything about sports. Stop giving me sports. I don't know. It's all sports. Do I look like I give a fuck about sports? Because I don't. Why would I care about sports? Okay, I have an idea. Let's react. Let's have a talk about Owen, shall we? Owen today was out doing some dumb shit. Owen has come back to the internet also, by the way. In case you're wondering, if you're not familiar with who Owen is a grifter, and he constantly changes his grift every time. It doesn't work. And it consistently never works. And so then he tries to clear his previous grift from the internet, you know, and then go into another grift, and it doesn't work. Listen, here was his first grift in which he got canceled for by everyone a trillion times. He also had a number of other things. We'll get into it. Let's start here. Let's start with one of his OG grifts back in, I think this was 2021, 2022. Welcome to Owen. Because he's back, don't worry.
When you're talking...
So this, maybe this was, I think this was
to a girl and
maybe originally, I want to say this, it says 2024, but I think this was originally 2023 or something, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just misremembering.
When you're talking to a girl and she says that she does not want children, that is the biggest red flag in the world, because she's living for herself more than she is for her future offspring.
Dude, could we just have like one day off from explaining thinking to these men? Because like I was having a good day. But did anyone else notice his misogyny and entitlement to women is like so deep ingrained in him that right away out of the gate he contradicted himself? He said when you're talking to a woman and she says she does not want children, that is a red flag because she is living selfishly and not making sacrifices for her future children. And let me say it one more time, really obvious for the Kyles in the back who aren't getting it. He's claiming when he's talking to a woman who said she's not planning on having children, that's selfish because she's not planning her life for those future children she's not gonna have.
Who is that, Chad? Oh, trust me, we're going to get into Owen, but we got to see this one through and we will get into Owen. This is not his first offense.
Do you see what children? She's not having children. Why would she plan her life around children she's not planning on having? Like, he is literally so misogynistic that he truly can't fathom that women are anything other than breeding vessels on this planet. He believes in his mind that maybe she's just waiting for a man to come along and change her mind or something, and then it will be selfish. But no, like, she doesn't want that. Like, why can't you get that through their head? There are also women on this planet who can't physically have children. Are they selfish too then? The cognitive dissonance of the video, it's just so rooted in these boys that they can't even discuss it because they can't get the words to come out of their mouth. That is how horrible it is. They can't even get themselves to say out loud that it's possible a woman exists on this planet for a purpose other than carrying children. And his whole argument in the video is that that's selfish. A woman who exists on the earth, her only purpose is to be bearing children. And if she's not bearing children, then she's just selfish. But you know what else is selfish, buddy? Not being able to step outside your own mind for a moment and understand women and empathize with them. And claiming that every single woman on this planet who doesn't plan on having children is just selfish and a waste of space, I guess.
When you're talking to a girl and...
Two things. First of all, first note on that. My voice was so high-pitched. The years have not been kind to me. Because why did I sound like a baby? Apparently, I've never been on live television before. But yeah, so in his early days, if you're not getting the vibe from Owen, this is guy's name, Owen Nurm. Owen, I have it written somewhere. I'll show it later. So Owen's content was very much so just like alpha male, like incel, whatever. He has this girlfriend, this pick-me girlfriend or something. I don't know if they're still together to this day. Don't care. Didn't check. But it was very much so this like classic traditionalist, like women belong in the home. And if not, then you're a waste and you're selfish and wait. And then he also did like this peacocking where he was like, I make all this money, blah, 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 from doing social media. Mind you, man, has less than 200,000 followers and on just TikTok, which is like the equivalent of nothing. Why do we hate each other so much? I don't know you, Nicholas, or fucking Lucas. Why did I say Nicholas? No one in here is named Nicholas. I don't know you, so I don't know why you think I hate you. Maybe unpack that. There's no need to give hate a chance. I would agree, Lucas. You should stop hating women so much and thinking that they have nothing to offer this world besides being in the home. Shut the fuck up. How about? Oh, why are you so hateful? Why? You literally don't believe women have a value on this earth. That's hate. You're just a fucking moron. That is hate. You're a fucking hateful prick. That is hate. You're just too stupid to say it out loud because you think if you deliver it with a soft tone and condescendingly, it's not going to count. But guess what? You're just a jackass. Shut up. Anyways, so this was Owen in his original arc. He thought he was going to be like this, like cool gym bro, whatever, influencer. And he just kept getting dog walked. Like he just kept getting piled on. Everything he said was stupid. If you go and you'll still find remnants of this video stitched here. Let me see if I can't find him. Like everywhere, all across the internet. Owen. Oh, fuck. I spelled that wrong. Because here's the thing. Every time he gets canceled, he tries to like sweep it all. So like it's hard to find shit on him exactly. But you can see if you look him up here, I'll show you. If you look him up still, you'll see like all the stitches of people, but like it'll always say like video no longer available, whatever. Right, he did this video at some point where he's blaming immigrants for taking all our jobs, and he was like, that's why no one can get a job right now. Maybe you're just an unemployable loser, Owen. Maybe that's why you can't get a job. I don't know. Maybe it's because you sit around on TikTok and shit talk women and just you don't think that people have value besides yourself. But as you can see, said lots of crazy things that people stitch. So that was the first round of canceling Owen. That happened a lot. A lot of people are less likely to have women. Okay, and incels are less likely to shut the fuck up when they're not wanted around here. So why don't you stop? Cool. How are you number 3? You're number You've been watching for so long. You've been hate watching so long. You're number 3 on the board. That's so embarrassing. That's how long you've been watching my content, dude. Yikes. Get a life, get a job, get a hobby. That's sad. Oh my God. Maybe women just don't want your kids. Have you thought about that? Oh my God, heaven forbid women don't want kids. Where are all of your kids? Why don't you post photos of your kids? The silence is silencing. Anyway, so Owen's a mega chud loser. And then he gets canceled a second time on the internet. I forget exactly what he said per se. But he did get canceled a second time. But the thing is, before he got canceled a second time, listen, he did that one big thing where he got canceled, but then everyone obviously, right, immediately forgot who he was because he's a nobody loser. And so this is back in the day before I had a ton of followers, and I open up, you come off as rude or weird sometimes. Maybe that's because you are weird and rude. I don't know. Maybe because you think that women not wanting to take shit from you makes them the hateful ones that need to stop being hateful. And maybe that is a fucking weird ass thing to think, dude. Have you thought maybe perhaps you are the problem? I don't know. Man almost realizes for the first time in his life that he might be the problem in live real time in front of us. Just kidding. He hasn't realized it yet. I just said it to him, hoping that it would stick. Anyways, back to the Owen story. So that happened. And after the first cancellation, we all forgot who he was. However, proceeding onward, we all forgot who he was. And then I got like a very menial amount of followers, and he DMs me on Instagram. Owen that is, and you will see that in a minute. Cool. You discovered me and you're still hate watching me. I don't know. That just doesn't make it any less embarrassing. You like to stay in troll. Okay. Again, you just admitted that you just sit around and hate watch me. And you're not ashamed of it at all. Like, that's embarrassing, dude. You're so fucking insufferable. Like, how unemployed? You have 6 subscribers. You don't even have friends that can subscribe to you. That's sad. Watch this. And now you're muted for the rest of forever. You spent all this time watching me to be the 3rd highest viewer on my channel. And now you're muted forever. Enjoy watching me from the shadows, and no one will ever have to hear about your loser ass again. Have you tried not being an ugly chud loser? Works for a lot of guys. Anyway, so Owen DMs me at some point, and he DMs me, and in this moment, I've already forgotten who Owen is. And so I'm polite to him, and I will walk you through how that one goes, because I'm polite to him. You'll see this story break out, but I remember who he is. I block him on everything at a certain point, but then he goes viral a second time for saying some dumb shit. I don't have the second time he went viral video saved. I just clipped the original one, but he says another dumb take about women, and women start dogging on him in bulk, and men. I saw a lot of my guy friends also, but there's no reason to hate. Not as in you, but like us. Yeah, Lucas, but have you thought about why you just decided in the middle of me talking about like men just like have you thought about the timing of when you just decided to say to us that there's no need for us to hate? We're talking about men who hate women, and we're talking about women not putting up with it, and you decided to insert like, oh, just fucking shut up. How about? I think we hate you. I don't know. Anyways, talking about feminism and a man saying there's no need to hate, it just doesn't read the room. Anyways, back to Owen once again. So about the body, I don't know. Back to Owen. So Owen's going viral a second time at this point. And so I remember that Owen actually has DM'd me before. And so I take his original video, because Owen's going viral for someone else doing something. But then I have to come through with the second video, because at this point I saw that Owen had wiped the original videos off of his thing. Fair enough, Lucas. I will allow it. We will kiss and make up.
It's fine though. It's fine though, because we're good now. We're besties now. We're kissing.
You caught me. You can't catch me off guard in a heated rant about an incel. Okay, you're gonna get caught in the crosshairs. It's just a hazard of the trade. But we've made up now. We're kissing. We're good.
To a girl and she says that she does not want children, that is the biggest red flag in the world, because she's living for herself.
Dude, can we just have like one day off from explaining thinking to these men? I'm so glad that video is trending again, because the other day I rejected that man's offer and he had a full-on toddler-style meltdown all over his story about it. It seems a year ago when I made that video responding to him, I was spot on about his red pill male entitlement syndrome. But I'm going to show you all the receipts because it's like a little reward. So it started when he messaged me on this like alt account that I honestly at first thought was spam.
I know this is blurry. I will read it out loud to you. Here's the funny part. I don't have these texts anymore because that's how well he went through and wiped everything, is that he went through and unsent these. he went through and unsent all this stuff, and then eventually I think like privated all of his accounts and tried to wipe this all. But luckily we have these blurry screenshots in which he says, "Do you want a brand deal? I'm recruiting for a big company that wants to work with you." Super weirdly like non-descriptive. I'll get into this.
One, he looked very familiar, but I'd already forgotten about him. And two, the message is just very unprofessional for someone who's trying to strike up a brand deal. Like, it's really vague, like a big brand, and there's no sorts of like deliverables, pitch, or anything. And if you've actually successfully worked with influencers before, you know that you should be using my email unless you're actually the brand account DMing me. I didn't respond at first, but he looked really familiar, and so I went to go look at his page to see what he had posted on there. And the very first video I saw was him like kind of making fun of someone he had worked with in the past, and that was already a red flag as well. I don't want to work with someone who trash talks previous clients. He also had like very few followers. The whole thing seemed like spam, so I looked him up on TikTok, and it finally hit me what I remember him from, because right, my video dragging him is the first one that came up for me. He's the man who used to make desperate rage bait, red pill, alpha male videos, and clearly his career never took off, so he took a different direction. Because of this, I decided to just respond very politely so that he can't turn it into a
Literally response says no thanks with an, I think with an exclamation point maybe, but just like no thank you. It's very polite.
whole thing. At this point, I haven't even blocked him yet, and that's important to know. And then sometime later, I'd start getting DMs from random people being like, hey, this weird man is throwing a whole-on baby fit on his story about you. And clearly,
Which, why did I have followers that were following that man? Questionable. We'll circle back to that someday. But my followers were like, hey, this guy's just absolutely pitching a fit about you on his story right now, which is weird. We'll get into this.
I had moved on already, completely forgotten about him, and was like, I mean, this could be anyone. The red pill babies are obsessed with me. So they send me the screenshots of his story in which he's stalking all of my accounts and throwing a fit because I didn't want to work with him. There's a few funny things about this. One, at this
So these are what he threw up on his story. He was making repeated stories about me at this point, literally for just saying no thank you to working with him. And I don't know if you can read this. It says, I asked this creator if they wanted to collab and they said no and blocked me. Didn't ask any price or details. I'll get into this, but like I hadn't blocked him at this point.
I actually hadn't even blocked him, so I think he had to block me in order to take that screenshot. 2, he's throwing a whole fit because a woman politely said no to working with him. 3, didn't ask any price or details. If you were actually a professional in this industry that's operating at the same level in which I am, you would know that any offer from an actual big company is going to look way more professional than that, and it's going to include the original offer in the first message. Which leads me to believe there was never a big company and he was simply looking for rage bait attention. And the best part to me is this screenshot right here where he goes, oh, she was a lib, of course. That's my profile picture. I'm a political content creator. You reached out to me. You're telling me you're so inept at your job that you didn't even look at my profile picture, let alone do proper research on who you were reaching out to for these big brands you have. Yeah, I don't really believe there was ever a big brand working with him, but I do believe my original take on him a year ago was correct. These types of males have an insufferably misogynistic entitlement to women, to the point where even politely saying no thank you causes them to go on a full-on rampage.
When you're talking to
Now, to be clear, at this point, by the point of this second controversy here, Owen had cleaned up most of his like controversial shitty takes about women off the internet. And he had started that Instagram account where he was branding himself as an influencer manager, right? So he was trying to either rage bait me to try and sell that or whatever, or like get me to work under him or with him or whatever. So he could, you know, vulture a percentage off of me. I don't know. He didn't have any hard deals that he actually offered. It all seemed very fake and unprofessional. And obviously his reaction was unprofessional, which so good call. But yes, he had started this second account where he was like, I'm the super successful influencer marketing manager, blah, blah. He's constantly, his LinkedIn is public. Hold on. He has like this LinkedIn, which is public. This is all public information, where he like claims that he makes like hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in revenue. Also, okay, not even that much money now that I'm looking at it. $100,000 off of revenue with this. He's like claiming he's doing all these numbers and shit. And like, And this is like his little company, and he's constantly posting about how successful he is at all of this, which is hilarious because I think on YouTube his videos get like 1,000 views. They average around 1,000, and on TikTok, again, not even hitting 200,000 followers, and on YouTube or Instagram almost nothing as well. But he continues to claim that he's super successful. But yeah, so he was going through this phase where he thought he was going to be big at that, but was also failing. So he's just trying like another pyramid scheme grift, of course, right? Because the first original grift of him just giving shit takes and trying to be this gym influencer, edgy, traditionalist, something conservative didn't work out. So he wipes that. He tries to rebrand and he's like, I'm an influencer marketing manager now. And now, today of all days, I see. Also, he's making, to be clear, I don't think this had to be added, but could you assume he's making super weird content about, I think he's like Swedish. He's Swedish, I want to say, or something super Nordic where he's like really like way too big on ancestry. Like I'm Nordic and my family like loves celebrating stuff, but I'm not sitting here like emphasizing the importance of ancestry and like, you know what I mean? It's not even a dog whistle at that point. The dogs are out. You know exactly like it. And also genetics is crazy because every time he makes one of these videos and goes viral for it, he has thinner and thinner hair. So like what genetics? You and what hairline, sir? You and what motherfucking hairline? What top tier genetics? You're balding. He's bald and he's balding people who have hair. Every time. But anyway, so he's back again today and he dropped another really hot take. And I went to look him up and I see that he has wiped and privated all of the marketing influencer whatever accounts because he's back to trying the original grift, which is just being like a shitty person. And you can go check out Boost the video on my page today. I will play it here, but I appreciate always the double cross. Nordic people, I mean, I guess German people aren't considered Nordic. I don't know. But he's back again. He has wiped, he's a third switch or second switch, third category. He has wiped the digital trail once again.
Alex Cooper just...
And he's trying to drag. This is the funny part too. He's dragging Alex Cooper, calling her a trad wife, which is hilarious, right? Because his first several controversies were like, women belong in the home, women blah, 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 like women get back in the kitchen. But now like women are getting in the kitchen and now he's mad. And I'll show you the video and it gets into it. Don't you worry.
Alex Cooper just proved that girls are the easiest people in the world to market to.
Oh, goody. Owen's
the easiest people in the world to market to, yet you've had to change your grift like what 3 times and you still can't land that marketing skill, can you? So how easy is it really, Owen? I mean, I found it pretty easy, honestly. I think the girlies are having a good time here, but maybe I'm just like an authentic person. It could be, that could be part of it. Okay.
Alex Cooper just proved that girls are the easiest people in the world to market to.
Oh, goody. Owen's back on the internet. Sans hair, I guess. Let's see what he has to say about women this time, despite erasing all his previous thoughts he got dog walked for.
She preaches about how you should explore your sexuality as a young woman, not get serious and settle down.
Oh no, women being independent. That is Owen's biggest nightmare.
What does she do? Gets married, does a trad wife thing.
Right, so now you're mad that a woman is getting married and having kids. Can't seem to win with these guys, but no, she's not a trad wife at all. Maybe go Google that word, but don't worry, he's gonna keep going.
If you're a girl, don't listen to these people. They are just trying to...
Did someone just say his hairline is in Valhalla? Is crazy. That's what I'm saying. Okay, listen, we have to see the rest of this through. It's only 60 seconds. Don't get me started.
To exploit you and make money.
On this week's episode of It's Always Going.
If you're a girl, don't listen to these people. They are just trying to exploit you and make money.
On this week's episode of It's Always Projection with these guys, that's a crazy accusation coming from the man who once threw a public fit all over his stories and threads because I was too smart to let him exploit and make money off me early in my career. I've shared that story several times, although we could walk through a refresher of it if you insist. But I think the takeaway is that it's fine when Owen does it because he's never actually pulled it off successfully. In fact, he tries to change his grift regularly and fails at it, then attempts to wipe all traces of it. But don't worry, I at least still have this one.
When you're talking to a girl and she says that she does not want children, that is the biggest red flag.
And I call that live proof of why men need less mics and women need more. See you all on the stream later tonight.
That's me earlier today on this chair. It's weird to see him attack his own side. I really wouldn't say that Alex Cooper is a grifter in that way, though. I mean, I don't know an extensive amount about her, but I think she's just a human woman who has grown up in front of us. Like, let women grow up. How about, like, yeah, a 19-year-old, oh my God, not the same as a 30-year-old. It's almost like you grow and change. Anyways, yeah, it's not grifting also for you to be telling young women to be independent out there, living their life, exploring their sexuality. And then also when you're in your 30s, you get married and have kids. It's almost like that's kind of like a normal path for most people. Let's be honest. Let's call a spade a spade. That's a pretty standard life path. There's nothing grifting about that. You can actually do both of those things and still support both. And you can still support women who don't do either. Or you know what I mean. You can still support all women when doing either of those things. That is not something to call a woman a grifter over. Women are allowed to change what they want their path to be at any point as well. I don't think she ever once said that she didn't want to get married someday and have kids. I don't know. Maybe she did, but also people are allowed to grow and change. So let's cut that shit out. Let's stop canceling women specifically because they just grow. I think that's ridiculous. But I digress. Like, there's other critiques of her that would be way more valid, and that one is just sexist. Choice feminism. That's not choice feminism, though. You're just stupid. Like, it's not choice feminism. Just feminism is, I don't know who Alex Cooper is. Then shut the fuck up. Like, what? Oh my God. Feminism is saying women can do whatever they want. And yeah. Why is that such a hard concept for incels to master? You should instead cancel women for existing. Now you're getting it. Exactly. Welcome to misogyny. Women, no thank you. So yeah, Owen is back doing women's rights and left. No lefts, only rights. Or maybe no rights, just lefts. I haven't decided yet. I'm going to read both of their policies and then pick. I don't want to jump the gun on that. Anyways, women's rights and wrongs, also valid. Anyway, so Owen is back and he's in his grift. He's in his grifter era again. And yeah, stay tuned for updates on that on my channels. Go repost, boost, whatever those. I think the algorithm's hella suppressing those. Either that or everyone's over Owen because it's not getting pushed out, which is fine. Maybe we just let him go. We let him die, just like his takes and opinions. Was there any other video I had to show? Oh, the Wizard Liz is trending again. And I won't lie. I don't, is anyone familiar or not familiar with the Wizard Liz? The thing is, I'm not super familiar with the Wizard Liz because I don't follow that type of content. But I do have an opinion on something that was going around about her. And not specifically on the situation that she's in. To my knowledge, in case, I don't know, does anyone need a vibe check? I don't know a lot about the Wizard Liz, so I won't be giving like strong opinions on her because I just, but I think she was, from what I understand, from what little knowledge I have, so take this as based as it is, in fact and knowledge. From what I understand, the Wizard Liz was a content creator, is a woman, I think a feminist, I would assume, given the backlash. Very independent, very strong, maybe from what I've been told. And then she met a man, as all terrible stories start, a nightmare, if you will. She met some man and very, very quickly got married to him and had a baby, and things just went south, which is like such a typical and horrible and awful story. And so she trends a lot for like this man who totally just faked everything. And I think I want to say cheated or something. It got messy. But anyways, the Wizard Liz is trending again for whatever reason. I'm not sure. But the thing I wanted to respond to is that people were saying that his ex at one point had reached out to her to warn her, to try and warn her about him. And apparently, and I don't know if this is true or not, or rumor, and apparently she ignored it. And it's like, well, now, don't you kind of wish you had listened to that? That's tough. That's tough L on that one. But I have a hot take on that portion of it, which is, there has never been a moment ever in which somebody's ex has reached out to me like cold turkey, out of the blue, unprompted, and I didn't like sit down and really fully listen to what they had to say. Because like 9 out of 10 times that woman has no, like, there's no reason that she needs to be messaging you. Listen when she speaks 9 out of 10 times. And even in that last percentage where she might be like, that might be lying or something, it's like, what happened between the two of them where this interaction is still happening? Like, there's still red flags in anyone's ex reaching out to you that you should take a note of. But I have had men's exes reach out to me, and every time that I've listened to them, it has saved me. It's still usually too late, actually. I want to say, but it has saved me from getting in deeper, and that's fair. I once had a man's ex. Sorry, I'm adjusting my chair. One time I was seeing a man and his ex reached out to me. And mind you, his ex was also psychotic. But I was like, I think these are both two psychopaths and I need to get out of here. But I was sad. Everything she was telling me, I was like, even if like 5% of what she's saying is true, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Like, I gotta get away from this man. Like, even if like an ounce of what she is relaying to me is accurate, we need to leave. Yeah, and I'll always remember that one because saved me time and trouble. And I have indeed had the displeasure of having to message a woman or two that I saw seeing a man. There was one time I went on a date with a man, and then like a week or two later, I saw... This is a long story, but it was in college. I saw his girlfriend post him for like National Boyfriend Day or whatever, and was like, it's been great being with you for like X amount of time or something. And I knew the girl because we ran in like similar circles, and that's how I ended up seeing her story, actually. And I reached out to her and was like, hey, girly, I don't know if this is like a new thing or not, but I was indeed on a date with that boy not that long ago. I.e. like the last 2 weeks or so. So she stayed with him for a long time after that, and they did eventually break up. But again, another good example of maybe take that message. Maybe take that message. Unfortunately, it is different when you become a content creator, which is fair. That's the one thing, that's the defense I'll have in Liz's situation, which is like, if I were to post a man, I can imagine I would get quite a lot of fake DMs, a few, which is weird. And probably a lot of them would just be like incel trolls. So that creates a blurred line. But for all of the normies out there, take those messages with weight. Take the heat. on those. Okay, I actually have never thought about it that way, but yeah, when I hear the male loneliness epidemic, I also picture a Trump hat. Like, that's part of the visual for me, and I'm glad I'm not the only one. I'm not even saying that they're all always Trump supporters, because like, it's just an actual issue plaguing everyone at this point. I mean, all men. I mean, not all men, but you know what I mean? Like, it's not 100% one side or the other, but because like men in general just like need to learn how to socialize all across the board. But it is very Republican coded in my mind. Yeah, so when women reach out to you, give it some heavy thought. Give it a good contemplate that shit, really. And take it seriously. Doesn't mean you have to necessarily break up with the man, but really take those notes. Take those notes and put them in your back pocket too, even if you don't do anything with it. Watch the patterns. You never know. This is not all men. That was a not all men sort of situation, though. I didn't say not all men. I said not all the men in the male loneliness epidemic are necessarily Republican. That's not the same thing as not all men in the sense. It's different vibes. You tried, though. I'll give that to you. Do 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 do. I am waiting. I don't have any other hot take particularly before we get into the Reddit advice that I need to get off my chest. That I can think of. No real reactions that I feel strongly about at this point. I think the Owen thing, the Wizard Liz thing reminded me of that story that felt important to relay. The advice of just listen to women sometimes. And take note. Heed warning, I think, is the lesson there. Heed warning. Yeah. I am waiting. Dun, 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 dun. James Charles keeps coming back, trending, etc. That's crazy. The James Charles thing. Okay, you know what? I will do it. I'll go there. I'm going to give my take on the James Charles situation. Now that I feel like the conversation has been properly beaten into the ground 32,000 times and my words are probably not necessary nor heed much weight, I will be giving my thoughts on James Charles' situation. We've heard every thought that could possibly be given on the James Charles drama. And so I will not give you the repeated thoughts that everyone has already said. I just have two observations that are semi-original to throw in there. Because I think we're all on the same page, which is like, how are people still actually consuming James Charles? Jimmy Chuck, my bad. So my thoughts on the Jimmy Chuck situation. I know everyone's been waiting. Jimmy Chuck, it's two things. And the first is that every time a Jimmy Chuck controversy happens and everyone starts this like, you're a random person on the internet, but super sorry to hear. YOLO, you know? Crazy response to stalkers. They're like, yeah, here's hoping. Jimmy Chuck, anyways, get back into that. Sorry, I'm going to stay on task. Jimmy Chuck. Every time a controversy with James Charles happens, I feel like it's just everyone on the internet who's like, go unfollow him, unfollow party, is just telling on themselves for still following James Charles. Now, mind you, I will say, like, I follow some insane people. I work in news and media. Like, I'm monitoring the situation. I had someone call me out once for following like clavicular on something. And I was like, yeah, I study the manosphere. I do indeed follow a lot of that shit because I have to stay, but it's not the same thing as random people Like if you only follow people you clearly support, it's noticeable, you know? But I'm not gonna, it's like if you were to go into my following list and you were like, you follow the White House. I'm like, yeah, kind of my whole industry. Kind of have to. I actually have the White House blocked on TikTok. That one I draw the line at. I don't need to know what the White House is posting. But yeah, in that instance, I do think it's funny. Everyone who's like talking about unfollowing him. And I'm like, for the average person, was the pedophilia years back not enough? MAGA and the $5, $5 foot long, which is now like $7, crazy, or $8. I don't know. Thank you though. So that's my first note is everyone who, and my second note, here's the second thing. This is the thing that confused me about Jimmy Chuck. The thing that confused me about the Jimmy Chuck controversy is the whole thing is him crashing out over someone who DM'd him and asked him to donate to his GoFundMe, right? Like he crashed out, he freaked out. He was like, oh, go get a fucking job. Get off your, it's like no one wants to work these days. Get off your ass and fucking work, bitch. And he was just freaking out about this one DM. And the crazy thing is, he has like the most followers. Like he has, what was it, like 40 some million on just TikTok, and then like probably equivalent on YouTube, Instagram, etc. If I myself, as a certified fucking nobody, get like at least a dozen of those a day, you're also getting probably hundreds of them. Like what prompted that one singular crash out was my confusion. That's my only original note on the Jimmy Chuck situation. Is like we get those like in bulk as influencers. And it feels bad because you can't stop and help every single person that reaches out to you. But why was like that the one person you decided to bring the heat on? Like, what was it about that one message that you lost it at? Or does everyone just know that he's such a greedy son of a bitch that he would never donate? And so that was like the first one he got. Because personally, I get so many of those every day. It's heartbreaking. But that's my only original thought on the Jimmy Chuck controversy, which is like, I don't understand why that was the one that did it for him. Also, there's so many more valid DMs to crash out over. I get so many insane and just irritating DMs. Like sometimes I'll just get people like just trauma dumping on me left and right. Or I'll say something in a video and they're like, because I have this very specific trauma, this was very triggering. And now I'm going to send you this 3-page essay on why XYZ. And I'm like, oh my Lord. I'm like, I'm so sorry. But also like, fuck bitches, get money. That's a saying. I'm not the first one to say that. If that triggered you into writing someone a 4-page essay, I think there's other things that need to be unpacked. But I'm also not responding to them and being a dickwad. So Jimmy Chuck, what gives? So yeah, that's my take on Jimmy Chuck, which is I know you had infinite amounts of better DMs to crash out on than that one. That was the crazy part to me. You could have crashed out over anything. And you chose whatever that situation was. I love sandwiches too. Fuck bitches get money, to be clear, isn't one of the ones in question that have upset people, but didn't want to be an insensitive asshole and like out people with specific whatevers. I just made something up on the spot there. for reference. But yeah, mog on them bitches, if you will. It's mog summer, I guess. God, I hate 2026 sometimes. I would fuck up a ham sandwich right now, if I'm being honest. I love, a honey ham with with the good honey mustard and some onions and pickles. I love ham sandwiches. Oh my God. You know what my favorite holiday is? Food based only, exclusively. Also, you know what? Actually, favorite holiday, vibes based. My favorite holiday is the only one I haven't celebrated in years. In years, I haven't celebrated this holiday because I'm alone. My mother lives on the other side of the country, and she's been fighting with my aunts, and usually we go to my aunt's house, but it's been tense, so we didn't go over there. Yeah, it's Easter. I fucking love Easter. I don't know what you're trying to communicate by spamming weird emotes in the chat, bud. Easter. I love Easter. I love Easter ham. Ham is my favorite. Like an actual good ham is my favorite thing in the world. I love ham. I love a fresh ham. Any kind of onions. Any kind of onions at all. I will eat onions. I'll eat onions raw sometimes if they're cut up and left out. I'll nibble a few. Onions, garlic, all things that are stinky. Except for, what's that kind of cheese? I hate blue cheese. It tastes like puke. But yeah, I love Easter. I love ham. I love, roasted carrots. When you roast carrots well and you sprinkle them with like some honey or cinnamon glaze. I love carrots. I love a good mashed potato. You grill some asparagus. I love Easter. And then you get Easter candy. I love jelly beans. I eat them every year. I eat so many jelly beans. So many of them. I get the Starburst one specifically. Or this year I got the sweet tart flavored jelly beans, and those are the best. They were so good. And the little Reese's eggs. I don't like Reese's Pieces. Or I don't like Reese's cups generally, but the eggs, they have a different kind of chocolate on there, I swear. I love Easter. But I haven't celebrated it in years because I've had nowhere to go for Easter. My sister bailed on me this year too. I think my brother was at my mom's. I just want Easter. And then my grandma used to do like these thin, like little round sliced potato. I think they were potatoes, but they were like, this like cream and cheese or something in this thick cream. Rogue egg. I love Easter food. Anyways, that's I don't know. I don't know why that came up. I don't know why we started talking about my favorite holiday, but I miss Easter. I missed it this year. I miss it every year now. I miss it deeply and dearly. I need to find someone whose house I can go mooch off of on Easter, because it's the only time of year you can really get a good sliced ham, like a real sliced ham. And it's just so good. And a sliced honey ham. Oh, because someone brought up ham sandwiches, or someone brought up sandwiches and I said ham sandwiches. Okay. But I'm glad we got to the bottom of them. That's probably what they are. They're like circles and they're thin sliced. And she would make them in like this heavy cream, and or maybe probably some cheese thrown in there or something. Oh, it was good. It was good. She's dead now, so we'll never know. But they were good. Rip grandma. Should have gotten that recipe from her. We got a couple recipes out of her. No one was putting in that groundwork and writing them down, and so I did. The only person in the family who doesn't cook was out here like, I feel like we need something. Some of these recipes. Actually, let me see if I still have the Google Doc. We're going rogue. We're looking up to see if we have grandma's recipes still. Live streaming live streaming family recipes. I'm so glad that you have a take on like cooking or messy food, or you support people who do. Oh my God, I can't. I refuse to answer any more questions from chat until all of you learn how questions work. You could like, you're all making me, you're all intentionally rage baiting me right now. Stop asking me if I have a take. Ask me an actual question. Asking what my take is isn't a question. If I don't have takes on things, what's my take on cooking? What the fuck does that mean? People do it? Messy food. What's a messy food? What? Oh my God, you're all killing me. Someone asked me my take on something earlier in the chat that was like political related. And I was like, I don't even know what's happening right now. Just what's your take on genocide? Bad. Like it's happening and it's bad. That's what this shit's starting to sound like. You're killing me. Your favorite dinosaur? I like those long neck guys. Not a fan. Not as much of a fan as the spiky boys. Spiky back guys. What's your take on taking? Oh, I take all the time. I love taking. I'm taking anything I can. I'm in there and I'm taking it. People aren't, you know, you got to take when you can take. Sometimes it's just, and then sometimes you're taken. Not always. I have no idea where I put these recipes and I'll never find them. Why do I have a document that's just titled religion? Oh, I took a religion class once. I really was nailing the titles of these notes. What's your take on cheddar cheese? It's okay. It's kind of mid. It's like a mid-tier cheese. I can't say it's necessary. I mean, it has its applications, certainly. I'm not going to the store though, and I'm not running. I'm not running for the cheddar cheese. One time I read one of my essays from high school, and I really think that some event happened that made me really hate writing. But boy, I will say I was pretty good at it. My writing is pretty S tier. I just lost all passion for it. It's because I once wrote a book and I got like 25, 30 pages into it. And I was like, this is the masterpiece of novels that anyone's ever written. And then my computer crashed and everything got cleared and wiped. And I was like, okay, and I'm never going to write again. And then I didn't. And I never wrote again after that. And I was like, that was the end of it. That was the last drop of my creativity. And we never circled back. I did once write like a really cunty essay in high school though about a movie. Oh God. It's about a movie and I really just the whole thing was so cunt. And I just absolutely railed Netflix in it. It was really funny. I can't find it now. But I was like, this is like, oh God, I can't find it. Can't find it. I'm really trying to find it because I remember, oh my God. The movie itself was like a good concept, but I just felt like the movie was poorly executed. Hold on. I'm going to look up. Yeah, it got terrible reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, so I'm glad that I didn't. It was like the story was good. The movie was terrible. And it was the movie itself was titled All We Had, And the essay I wrote was all I had left to watch on Netflix. And I think that already was like a killer intro. Like what was I doing this was like 11th grade where I was just serving cunt in English class and getting like 100%, mind you. Getting 100% every time. Yeah, the movie itself, the concept was fantastic, but it was Katie Holmes is the main, and she really just delivered no emotion the whole time. Was not selling. Good movie, bad actress. Okay, let's get into Am I the Asshole? Because I just saw one that really resonates with me. I just saw one, then the title really resonates with me. What's my favorite cheese? Oh, I did miss that. My favorite's Gouda. Anyone name that movie? Name that movie. No, I think my favorite might be Gouda, actually Gouda, like a smoked Gouda. First of all, any smoked cheese you hand me, it's gone. I'm eating it, it's gone. I'm eating it, it's gone. Anything that's smoked, I love smoked Gouda. Dubliner is a good one. Dubliner is a good one. You get me like a one of those honey goats cheeses though, and then you pile a good jam on top and drizzle some honey. That's good too. I'm pretty down when it comes to cheese boards. Any day of the week, I would fuck up a charcuterie board. We love our charcuterie boards. There's not much I wouldn't eat off a charcuterie board, okay? I would fuck up a cheese plate any day of the week. I would trade my firstborn for a good cheese plate, if I'm being honest. As long as you keep the fucking, what's it called? I always forget. As long as you keep the gross cheese off. As long as there's no blue cheese in sight. If you bring blue cheese near me, I'm going to punch you in the face. That's a fact. It's a promise. It's also a threat. Do you like jazz? Ooh, mozzarella. Mozzarella is such like a C tier cheese. It really doesn't taste like anything. That's a toppings cheese. Listen, oh God, don't get me started. We're really never getting to Am I the Asshole? There's tier system. Oh, that's what we should tier. We should tier cheeses. We should buy them and try them and then tier them as we try them. Someone text Kayla. That's got to be our next idea when we do the duo pod. When we do the duo stream. Cheese ranking. That's gonna be so expensive. Cheese plate Hassan. Don't ask me that question because you're not gonna like the answer. Cheese plate. I would trade Hassan Piker for a very good cheese plate. Obviously. Cheese. No, but there's toppings cheeses, right? Like cheddar, Swiss usually, mozzarella, things like that. Those aren't great cheeses. It's not that they're bad cheeses, but those are like ingredients cheeses. Those aren't cheeses, that you're buying. Like, yeah, we buy them and we eat them nonetheless. But like, I'm not getting excited about those cheeses. Dubliner, Gouda, etc. Those are cheeses I'm writing home about. Hold on. Cheese ring. This guy got beyond reach. Well, I can't escape him, so I've given up. 9 cheese brands. I don't want cheese brands. I want all types of cheese ranked. Oh, I'm so glad that there's an anycheese.com. You guys, we really need to start touching grass more often. I'm concerned. Anycheese.com has a cheese ranking system, and now we're going to judge. Oh. Number 1 is, whoever's in charge of this cheese ranking, kill them in a video game. Take them out back in World of Warcraft and delete their account. Take them straight into Fortnite and tell them there's no more. Who they put blue cheese as number 2, and they put this one, I actually have never heard this pronounced out loud. This one my grandma used to feed us all the time because it is Nordic, I believe. It's Norwegian. That makes sense. They put that at number 1, which is it a good cheese? Yes, actually. It is a pretty good cheese. But number 1, he was number 1. He was not number 1. What is this cheese ranking? What is this? Oh my Lord. Who did this? Who did this? What? Okay, look at this. Who is in charge of this website? Shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down. Provolone. Provolone? Provolone at 3? Provolone at 3. That is a toppings cheese. And cheddar at 4? Cheddar at 4? Gouda nowhere in sight? Gouda and Dublin are nowhere in sight. I need to speak with the manager. Who is in charge here? This person has never had cheese in their life. This person hasn't ever eaten cheese. They're lactose intolerant ranking these. Blue cheese at number 2 is crazy. I'll allow blue cheese on the list somewhere, sure. I'm not having it. But number 2? Cheddar at, that's what I'm saying, cheddar at 4. Cheddar at 4. Gouda at 5, okay. Okay, Gouda should have been higher, but I'll take it. Brie at 6 as long it's making, at this point, I'm just glad Brie made the list. Forgot about Brie. Brie, again, is another one that's very good, but I think it's just like, it's kind of like when you put butter on bread. I'm not eating it for the Brie. I'm eating whatever we're putting on top of the Brie. Or it's like another ingredient cheese, but it is good. Okay. I do believe I'm familiar with that one as well. See, now we're getting into ones that I don't recognize by name. Okay. Havarti. Okay, that's all the way at 12. Is Parmesan even on this list, by the way? I just feel like based off the fact that they put cheddar at 4, why would Parmesan not be higher? Because this person already has clearly shit taste. Munster's all the way at 18. Munster, okay, here's my take on Munster. Munster is still, this is crazy. The Munster is still an ingredient cheese for me. But it's like the top tier of the ingredients cheese. It's the S tier ingredients. It sits above the cheddar. It sits above the Swiss. I love making sandwiches with sliced Munster. And if you're making a grilled cheese, you better fucking put Munster in there. It better be a Munster grilled cheese. Because that shit stretches. That's that shit. Gruyere at 24 at the bottom is fucking psychotic. It's fucking psychotic. Whoever made this cheese list does not know fucking ball. And they've never known ball in their life. They've never seen the court. They're not even familiar with the concepts of the game. And they own that address for cheese. Fucking hell. Monster energy drink, one of my favorites, yeah. Just kidding. Baked brie with raspberry jam. Oh, that's what I'm saying. But I feel like in order for brie to really be good, you have to have something added to it, which is why I'm like, it still kind of falls under that toppings category for me. Like, it's not a toppings, but it's not a standalone. It's delicious, but you're not really eating brie raw. Like, you're not hitting it raw. You're not. Big cheese propaganda? No, honestly, this is like when celebrities pay for better rankings and things. It's not real. Never was. And it never will be. And it's never good to be on your own. Ain't it fun? You can't count on no one. Ain't it fun? Living in the real world. Who is O'Hara? Why do you keep saying O'Hara just resigned? I don't know why you're asking me this 32 times in a row. Minneapolis police chief just resigned. Well, the fuck if I know? Fuck the Minneapolis police. I'm not deep into the Minneapolis police at this point because they're just fucking deep in us. I have my beef. Everyone in Minneapolis has a very personal story about some personal beef with the police. And I think that says it all. Ain't it fun? You can't count on no one. Ain't it fun? Living in the real world. If you haven't personally been pissed off by the Minneapolis police at least twice, you're not living in Minneapolis. Ain't it good to be on your own? Ain't it fun? You can't count on no one. Oh, Jacob Fry is delivering the speech. Should we listen to him? Ain't it fun? Ain't it fun always gets stuck in my head as well. Thank you, fuck them. Yeah, and I don't know, even if they are better someday, in my mind, they're just tainted forever. Okay. Let's watch this guy. Just because I think it's entertaining to watch Jacob Fry pretend to be a big dog. The amount in which I roast Jacob is unnecessary. But also, it's like when you roast your brother, you know, like we're keeping it in the house. Like he's our problem. He's our little turd to roast. I better not see other people roasting him. Oh, this is live.
The Charbroil Pro Series 3-in-1.
Live. Shit. Bro's on the clock at 9 p.m. I don't believe it. I don't believe that Jacob owns a clock. He might be getting clocked though. Okay, yeah, this isn't live. 14 minutes is crazy. Did they say why? That's too close. It's so fucking close.
Today, I have an extremely difficult announcement to make regarding Police Chief Brian O'Hara. Last year, we received an anonymous complaint alleging the chief had engaged in sexually intimate relationships with city employees.
It's like so Minneapolis police fucking coded. Oh, you're telling me the police are a fucking problem? It's crazy. A year. It took them a year? A year to... Okay.
When complaints or allegations come forward involving any employee, especially someone in a position of leadership, they are reviewed thoroughly and independently. That was the case here. An outside investigation was conducted, extensive interviews were completed, and numerous staff participated. Several months ago, that investigation concluded, and we received a report stating that the allegations were not substantiated. Those allegations remain not substantiated. However, today, I received a report of findings from an additional investigation that showed Chief O'Hara interfered with the investigation process. Specifically, investigators found that he intentionally deleted a contact card for an individual from his city-issued cell phone during the...
Wait a minute, you guys. Are you telling me that the Minneapolis Police Department might be a little corrupt? I don't know about that. Of course he fucked with the investigation. He's the chief of police. This is me every time people are like, why don't you ever say the name of XYZ from whatever story? We'll back you up. Because literally we have like a fucking chief of police just out here tampering with investigations. Okay. I don't know if we need to listen to the rest of this. I think we've...
Original investigation in an attempt to shield that evidence of his connection to the person from investigators. And even though he was instructed not to discuss the investigation itself with anyone, he told another city employee that his city cell phone had been taken from him for the investigation. Although the investigators have concluded that this interference does not change their ultimate conclusion contained in the original report.
I'm out. They're so fucking useless. They're so useless. Like, I'm so sorry. If he was innocent, why was he going through and deleting shit in the middle of the investigation to try and... Like, that should be like... If you're innocent, you're not going through and deleting like files and shit from the investigation so that they can't find your connections.
In other words, the allegations of relationships with city employees, the interference itself is a breach of trust.
Okay. Well, I guess at least he's fired. But also employees, plural. Like, how many employees coming forward about this behavior do we have to fucking see for you to think maybe this was happening? Like, oh my God. Why? Stop putting men in charge. They're fucking morons. Like, fucking God, I don't think we need to hear the end of that, honestly. He's been fired and no accountability was really laid out. One time, okay, here's one of my Minneapolis police stories. Oh, everyone, Minneapolis police lore. So one time I had been seeing this guy. This is a long story. Too long of a story to tell. Actually, some of you might be familiar with the guy I referred to as Basement Eric. I mention him sometimes in stories in which I'm like, there's not a podcast long enough in the world to talk about all the things that man did to me and put me through. And also, like, it was so traumatic that I have blocked out large chunks of it. So I could never like coherently tell the story in its truest and realest form. However, he's dead now, so it's fine. We're even. We're even. Once the perpetrator dies, I call it good. However, this man did indeed, by all technical means of the terms, kidnap me, keep me locked in his basement for several hours in the middle of winter with no heating. In Minnesota, as you can imagine, that's quite cold. And by all technical terms, sexually assaulted me. So as you can imagine, this man put me through a lot. And then he proceeded after that to like stalk and harass. And it was just this whole nightmare of a thing. And then threatened me, of course, threatened my life. The typical man on a spiral who realized he just committed a full-on crime and now he thinks that you might go to the police about it to report him and it will ruin his life. Unfortunately for him, he did not come to the conclusion at that age that the police are completely useless and would never do anything at all. So he was losing his mind about that. And yeah, rest in piss for real. And that's a whole other story. Like that went on for weeks. It was a whole thing. Cause like also it was a trauma bond was there. And then I was so young and thinking like I needed to help this man or whatever. And then him just abuse is a whole thing. Anyways, it got to a point where I had what I would have assumed was a substantial amount of evidence to file a report on him. In fairness. So I went in, or I think I called the police, or maybe that's when I went in. Again, this is where my memory is failing. I maybe went, it was the one on campus. Cause I know I went in person at one point. Oh, here's what it was. I had called the school cause I was going to report it just to the school. Right. But they were like, you don't have enough evidence. You don't have enough evidence. I had called the police and asked about some sort of restraining order or situation because he was like threatening me and threatening to show up and find me if I did report him at any point or something. And they said you needed they pretty much like told me like you needed more evidence / he has to kill you first for us to care. Which is fair because they hate people. And they don't like doing their jobs. So I get that. But, what was I going to say? Yes. I think I had called the school to try and report him to the school, but they told me two things, right? Like one, not enough hard evidence, obviously. That was honestly my mistake. That's my bad because I wasn't wearing a body cam, throughout that entire relationship and situation. And that's on me. And then two, they were like, well, he graduates in like 3 weeks as well. So like technically these trials take a couple months. And so he will be graduated and gone and there's nothing we can do. And I was like, thank you so much for your help, Miss Lippy. cool. Just give him his degree and send him on his way into the world. Anyways, so I was also like pissed rightfully at that point and stressed out and obviously going psychotic, losing my mind, experiencing a lot of PTSD, and this man wasn't leaving me alone. So at a certain point, I decided that I would become the devil and lean into it so that I would get this man to confess and I would record it. And I would record it and I would bring it in. And because I was still such a child, I think I was maybe 19 or 20 at that point. Yes, that sounds about right. 19 maybe. In my mind, I was like, this is what it takes. This is what they told me. The police said if I had enough evidence, I could come in. And so certainly I will go and get this evidence. And then, of course, everything will be gumdrops and rainbows. Because I was like, I know the police suck, but certainly if we have evidence of this, something will happen. Like, anyways, at some point he like calls, this is how insane it was. He called me on Xbox chat of all places. And so I record the call. And he's texting me, and I have some of these texts saved to this day, but I think I got rid of most of them because he's dead now. So like, what's the need? And he did indeed pretty much admit to everything he did because he was spiraling and like threatening me and telling me not to go to the police and all this stuff. Little does he know that I'm recording the whole thing. Pretty much get the whole thing recorded. Straight out explaining the law of basement air gas. So straight from his own mouth, like him confessing to it in real time. And so then I do take this to the Minneapolis little police precinct, and I sit down, and one of the men comes in, and this is the part that like already like I was irritated by like right out of the gate, because I was like, I'm here to report this that happened, which like when that happens, you should like take it at least with the utmost seriousness, right? Or at least like put on a show that you give a shit. And a two-party consent state. I don't think you can consent to being kidnapped and having things forced inside you, but regardless, I digress. So I show up and I'm like, I'm here to report this or whatever, and they take me into this little side room, and this useless looking chunk of a man comes in with a post-it notepad, a fucking post-it notepad and a pen. Post-it notes is what he brought in to record this very serious report. I should have known at that moment that they were going to be drawing just like stick figures and ponies while I was speaking. I should have known in that moment that nothing I was about to say was going to matter at any point. Is it legal to record someone? I mean, I don't think it matters at that point, but also it was like in an Xbox chat, so I'm pretty sure you could have just like also contacted Microsoft and gotten that. And again, screenshots of texts for the most part. Anyways, I sit down and like, I have the evidence. Like I have him pretty much admitting to this. And they're like, and I, this part I will understand and reason with, is that he was trying to give me realistic expectations. And he was like, listen, but also like, he was pretty much like, there's nothing we're going to really do to help you. Cause he was like, I mean, you could try and press charges or whatever, but he's like, honestly, usually these cases kind of go nowhere, and it's best for you to just leave and go like, get over it and live your life. Which like hindsight 2020, he was correct about that statement, despite it being like delivered in the worst way. I mean, he said it in different words, but that's pretty much what he said, you know? Like he wasn't wrong, but also like, you didn't even try to record this or write it down, because I was also like, okay, well, he's also threatening to kill me and show up at my home, et cetera, et cetera. And he was pretty much just like, well, they're usually not serious about it, so you're fine. And I was like, okay, is there anything you can do? And they were pretty much just like, not really, until he shows up and does indeed try to kill you. And even then, like, probably only if he does kill you, I'd assume. And I was like, cool, what do you guys do here? Like, what do you do here? Like, why do you have this precinct on campus? Like, what do you actually do here? So then I just left. And I don't even think they wrote it down. I don't think they wrote down anything. To this day, I'm convinced they wrote no reports anywhere because that kid went and he joined like the forces, which I'm pretty sure I don't know the rules of joining. I'm not going to say what he joined, but I'm not sure the rules. But like, I do feel like if that was written down and taken seriously, they probably wouldn't have let him join. I don't know though. I mean, maybe, but can you join with, I don't know, probably. Anyways, post-it note was the level of seriousness that the Minneapolis police took that man trying to kill me. Post already admitting to all the other things he did. And I remember like a year or two later, like walking on campus and like the Donut Bro Brigade was walking by, like all the fat, useless chud cops. And one of the cops, which I have to assume was one of the guys that day, like saw me on the street and smiled and waved at me as if I was going to like smile and wave back at him. And I just flipped him off. I full on just flipped him off and said, fuck you, as I walked past. Like, you did literally less than the least. Or at least, like, I don't know. Put more women in the force. At least they would have been able to deliver that easier. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, that was like an insane, and the whole situation was just insanely poor delivery. It was crazy. But anyways, yeah, fuck the Minneapolis police. And yeah, what a shocking twist that the chief is a piece of shit and they don't do their jobs well. You were supposed to trust these people is insane to me. And no one does with good reason. Let's get to the Am I the Asshole? Let's at least pound one of these out here. Because I read this one and I liked the title and I would like to get back to this. It's admissible in court. I mean, maybe, but also again, I had the text. Most of the actual confessing came from the text. The phone call was just like him in distraught, which I just feel like kind of backs it up. Anyways, no, women should not be cops. Dude, you're right. That would probably give them the audacity to think they could beat you. And we should leave that up to the male cops, obviously. They need 2 years training and higher IQs. What? Your YouTube channel is really embarrassing. Sorry, I'm looking at your channel now. It's kind of funny. Sorry, we need to take a moment to look at Halo. Halo, whatever his name is. You joined in 2012, which means you're a fully grown adult too. You're not even like a child trolling us. That's so sad. Look at this shit. This is his YouTube channel, unironically. Like, what is this? What is this? What is this AI porn? What are your playlists? 5,000 videos. Oh my God. Have you ever seen grass? What is this? Your YouTube is playlist full of 4chan groiper texts. That's what you consume? You consume 4chan groiper nonsense. That's so crazy. You forget that these guys like live amongst us sometimes and then shit like this happens. And it's like, oh my God, you're a real person. Like you're not a bot right now. This is a real person. And they're consuming insane amounts of groiper shit. And on 4chan, like, I know that like 4chan is huge with incels and shit, but like I can't wrap my head around the fact that like people actually exist entirely on there or at all. Are these also like, these are just made up stories. I hope you know this. I fucked the feminist out of her head. That like didn't happen. Like I'll take what, like these are, this is fan fiction for groipers. It's crazy. Bright pink hair, shaved, side shaved, 5 piercings in one ear, shirt that says patriarchy equals plague. Like, why don't you just say that you actually all want to fuck us louder? Like, we knew already, but like, this is your fantasy, is fucking us, and then us finally saying we agree with you. It's so sad. It's like, that's such a hard watch. Oh my God. I'm reading these titles now. It's insane. My ex's mom tried to set me up with her other daughter. OnlyFans girl realizes simps don't actually make good husbands. Your dream. This is so, oh God, this is hard to read. How would you punish your younger sister for dot? And then it goes, I don't want to know what for. Why are you punishing your younger sisters? Crush leaves Anon for Chad. Her sister wants him instead. Oh my God, you guys, we just found like a new level of the internet that we just unlocked part of the map that we were never supposed to. Maybe these Chads aren't so bad after all. The fan fiction. Oh my God. This is like so, it's the Tumblr kid behavior. One of his videos he has saved says why Ivy Leagues reject high achieving students. Oh, buddy. It's not just women rejecting you, it's schools too. Oh, typical anti-feminist slap. No, but it's not, this is beyond typical. This is atypical, certainly. I want to go back 5 minutes in my life. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to make it out of this one tonight. We have a deep dive to do right now. 7 brain exercises to sharpen your mind. Why you're smart, but just not successful yet. Bro, just delete your entire YouTube account right now. It's not too late. We don't have to keep reading all these out loud. How to actually land a 90K job. Oh, buddy, you're unemployed too. I'm sensing. This is so bad. Oh my God. You were the smart kid, so why do you feel like a lost loser now? They know what they are. It's so sad. This is so sad. Oh my God. This is what I mean when I'm like, bring back bullying, because this is so like, you should feel bad about this. This is really embarrassing. Yeah. Oh my God. I'm trying not to laugh so hard that like literally the vessel is popping out of my fucking neck. Oh my God. I'm not refreshing the page, but he's actively deleting them would be crazy. 4chan is just griper shit. It's insane. How to charm anyone using this CIA hack. Has it worked? Is it working for you yet? Oh God, this is so sad. You're not bad at math. This is what I learned after. So are you smarter, aren't you? Because there's a lot of things in here just like how to hack math and actually do better. So were you not the smart kid then either? Were you just a chud-ass stupid loser? The way he's gone too, he hasn't said a word in chat since we started going through this, is so funny. Don't bring back bullying. We need to bring back like pointed bullying is the thing. We have too much bullying for stuff that's not bully. Like stop bullying dumb shit and start bullying like actual losers again. You know what I mean? That's low-key bad. No, I do think that we need to bully losers more, because you shouldn't, like, they have the audacity and they need to be publicly shamed. These chud ass, like, these gripers need to be properly bullied because they clearly like haven't realized that they should just shut the fuck up. Trigonometry for beginners. Oh, buddy, you're struggling with trig. You're struggling with trigonometry. The psychology of male loneliness. There it is. There it is. He's got videos on the male loneliness epidemic saved. He's trying to figure a way out. Bully the bully. That's what I'm saying. These guys are just weirdo bullies. Bully them harder. Yeah, bullying is just the word we should be using for shaming. How to actually build a romantic connection with anyone. Oh my God, buddy. What things do guys do that actually make girls ultra horny? That's a title of one of them. I'm sorry. That's an actual title. That's an actual title. I cannot. Have you tried being a tolerable person? I'm speechless. How to approach girls like official Vaughn? Who is that? Is that a person? Probably. I'm not that deep into groypers. What to do if you're single in your late 20s, never dated before? Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Oh, man. I don't want to say it, but maybe just delete your Wi-Fi subscription and stay in your mom's basement watching Superbad over and over. That might be the plan for the rest of your life. Looking at all of these. He's also old. Yeah. Well, his account was made in 2012, so that would mean he's at least in his late 20s. Yeah. Yeah, true. Okay, let's see what's his. Okay, those were just his education videos, which that's what he was educating himself on. Now, what's in his favorites? Unattractive men are making these 3 biggest mistakes. Oh, that's the first one. That's the first video. That's the first video. Women find modern men unattractive for these reasons. That's the next one. Superbad is a good movie, but you also know that like incels are probably obsessed with it, but in an incel way. They're looking at that and they're like, this is peak existence. Yeah, Groiper joined a chat and now we're going through all his playlists and I'm reading the title of all the videos he's watching. Single mother gets roasted by men on TikTok. That being thrown in there along with all of like the I'm an ugly chud loser is hilarious. Like, I think we know why. He's definitely in his 20s because he had a lot of videos about things to learn in your like mid to late 20s down one rack. And also his account, again, was made in 2016, which means my accounts were probably made in like, or no, his account was made, sorry, I got that wrong. His account was made in 2012, I think. My accounts, I believe, like my original ones, before I started making content, obviously, were made in like 2016. What happens when you ignore a woman? I don't even want to know what that video is about. Thank you for the $5, dude. Do friends with benefits see their sex lives in the same way? I don't even think like you're having friends or benefits, dude. Let's focus on one first. Let's focus on one first. This is crazy. 20 celebrities who aren't friends with Taylor Swift just being thrown in there randomly is wild. Not only is he like the deepest level of griper, but he also just needs to be locked in on the Taylor Swift floor. This is fucking Taylor Swift ass video thrown in there. It's so fucking funny for no reason. I can't. Thoughts on okay, literally this one's titled Thoughts on Overwatch. Fuck, dude. No, and as a chronic Overwatch player, yeah, tracks. I think we've settled our quarrels today. God, we didn't even. Yeah, he made this account in 2012. He was on YouTube before I even was, which means he's got to be in his 30s. At least. Cool. We didn't even read off the Am I the Asshole? We'll do one Am I the Asshole? And then I'm going to go and we'll hopefully be back tomorrow, right? Everyone will be here tomorrow, same time, hopefully earlier, honestly, hopefully around 6 o'clock-ish. 6 or 7. Turn on those notifications. Okay. Am I the asshole for wanting to poop alone? Based, my kind of girl, my kind of person, my kind of they, them, my kind of icon.
Sexy ass Gavin.
Had to hit it at least once in stream. Okay. I asked my husband to take our 19-month-old with him this morning to drop my daughter off at school. I asked him so that I could use the bathroom alone. Every time I try to poop, my son either screams outside the door or wants to sit on my lap. My husband took him and ran into traffic. What? Roads closed, trains stuck, etc. Until they were driving for an hour. My son wasn't happy about it and screamed the whole time. My husband gets home. Cool. So you asked your husband to be a parent for like a minute so that you could have some time alone to poop. Good fucking Lord. Imagine. Okay, my husband gets home and starts screaming that it's not fair that our son that I lock him in a chair in the car for an hour so that I can use the bathroom. He says that I'm the asshole because our son shouldn't have to deal with that. So okay, first of all, your husband sounds like an asshole. You should fucking uninstall him. You just asked your husband to watch your kid. She asked the husband, I think, to take the son with him when they went to drop the daughter off at school so that the mom could have a fucking moment alone. And now he's coming home like you forced your son to be locked into a chair for all this time just so that you could have some peace for a moment. First of all, it's a car seat. Shut the fuck up. It's a car seat and you're driving the car. She did not like go and lock the kid in a chair somewhere. You fucking jackass. Like, also, that's your kid. I hate it here. Let her poop in peace. No, and honestly, I need to be completely alone when I poop, so I get that. But also, like, I don't even care if it was for a half hour. Watch your goddamn son so that the mom can have a half hour of peace for once in her life. Someone said, next time your husband is pooping, open the door and pop your toddler in the bathroom with him. But it's not going to be the same because kids are just like Velcros. They're Velcro kids to their mom. Like if you did that, the kid's just going to try and get out and go find you. instead. Like they don't give. And here's the thing. Here's how I know that dad's not involved at all. Because the kid's not going with dad. If that dad was around and involved, that kid might have a chance of actually just hanging out with the dad. Like, you know what I mean? When I was growing up, I was until a certain age, and that's a long story, but until like I was probably around like 7 years old, I was a Velcro kid to my mom. Now, I was the youngest, and like my dad was over kids by that point, which doesn't excuse it, but also like I grew up in a very traditional household where like my dad indeed did like the provider shit, and my mother assumed the role of mother, and they were both mildly cool with that, crazy enough, which is fair if that's your deal. But like because of that, I was Velcro kid to my mom because I like wasn't super duper close with my dad. You know, like yes, obviously I did follow him around on occasion, especially when I got older. Or like I would do the classic, sitting in the garage, holding the flashlight for dad. And if you moved your arm even just a little bit, you get yelled at for like what felt like 3 hours. Like we had our moments. This isn't to drag my dad or anything, but like, yes, when I was this age, at this small child's age, 19 months old, I too was like trying to follow my mother into the bathroom and like clinging to her at every moment of the day. And if my dad was in the house, I probably didn't even know it. But that also shows me that, this husband clearly is just not involved with these kids. So no wonder he came back and was like screaming that he had to watch the kid for a moment. Mind you, to be clear, if my mom told my dad, take the kids, he'd take the kids, but that just didn't really happen much. Did he ever really know what to do with us? No. Did he always give it his best shot? Mostly. Unlike this guy, my dad would never have just come home and then started screaming at my mom. Insanity. That's insane behavior. I will say there were very few times in which my mom like went out of town on a girls trip and my dad was in charge of us when we were younger. It was like that man had never watched kids in his life. It was funny though. We ate nothing but tuna melt sandwiches and sliced celery for days. Every time. Either that or Subway sandwich takeout. Anyways, your husband sucks ass. Sounds terrible. 0 out of 10. Yeah, someone said, this all sounds fine. However, you are going to lock your son in the bathroom with your husband next time he poops from now until the end of time. I'm glad everyone's just recommending but it wouldn't work because the kid's not going to have any interest in dad. You turned 21 today. Sorry, I missed chat. Shout out. Happy birthday. That's a big one. Stay safe. Have fun. 114 likes. Thank you for the likes, dude. Thank you all for the likes. I think we all like. I don't know if I do or don't. I guess you'd have to tell me. I have trouble with many words and letters, but it seems to be word dependent. Someone said he's not mad that your son had to deal with being in the car. He's mad that he had to deal with your son. And everyone's saying, don't you mean his son? Oh, find a new husband. That would be my recommendation. Or just leave the first one and call it a win. What he really means is that Yeah, everyone's siding with this person and saying that man sounds like a classic piece of shit. Play on words intended. Is that a pun? It's not a pun. I feel like we've lost the meaning of the word pun. I'm hungry. I want to go get a snack and I want to go chill and maybe bother my friends, you know, and live my life and not have to worry about things which I still ever presently will be constantly worried about. So I was responding to a text. And it shows because I can't read and operate all at once. I'm bad at reading. Everyone knows that.
Can't read. I'm just like you.
Yeah, I think we solved that. The answer to your problem is to get rid of the husband. And also, in getting rid of the husband, make sure you split that custody so he does indeed have to parent alone with them. It'd be kind of funny. Like, oh, you didn't want to do it before? That's one of those ones. That's one of those ones where, like, if that did happen, you'd actually have so much more free time. Your life might actually genuinely be more free and better if you divorced him and split custody, because then he would have to take those kids in a way that he's never done together. Okay. I'm going to run, but we'll be here tomorrow, right? Watch me. And then I something happens and I don't show up, and I'm going to try my hardest. So please show up. 'Cause you're cool and I love you all, and we stay sexy, cool, fun. And you know, at the end of the day, always make sure we stay playful together. Stay sexy, fun, cool, hot, and awesome.